It's like if you're gonna do it for reals. You know what I'm saying?
We got an announcement on the next video that I didn't make here, so look out for that. Hey, what is up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Mission Movie Reviews, Real Talk. I'm Barry Gaines.
It's your homie Jay Green.
And today, we're going to do something a little different this time. Now, you know, we both got lives, right? We all got lives. So sometimes we just can't get to the theaters at the same time. This is a rare case, but it's going to be a fun case today. So I went to see Furious. Justin went to see Leviticus. And so we didn't see each other's movies. It just happened that way, you know? So what we're going to do today is something that Justin did for me last time in the earlier video, where we're going to go ahead and ask questions about the movies that we both didn't see, you know? And if you have questions about the movie both movies that we're talking about, put it in the comments. If you have questions or anything, or if you saw it, tell us what you think. So, let's start off with, Justin. Justin went to see Leviticus.
Lust. Desire. It has to go now. Look at the light.
This is what they wanted.
They wanted us to be scared.
So, Justin, tell me this. So, I saw the trailer. It looked really cool. It looked like really different, like a different take on stuff. It reminded me of, I don't know, like Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Just for someone seeing the trailer, I don't know how close I am with that. What do you think of the movie, bro?
So I thought it was okay. I thought the premise of the movie was dope. When I saw the trailer, it looked like it was going to be more. I mean, there's definitely like some horrific elements, but I feel like it wasn't necessarily going for the scares. It definitely gives you like maybe like one little jump scare, but it's not like a cliche style jump scare. It's like it's earned, you know what I mean? But for the most part, I thought the trailer showcased, like, to me, it was going to be a little bit more to the film, a little bit more development to the characters, a little bit more like, hey, how are we really going to get out of this situation? Whereas the movie was kind of showcasing that these two dudes are, you know, really feeling each other, they're in love. But my problem was it didn't actually give enough to their relationship. It didn't give enough to the development of their relationship, why they actually, you know, love each other or really want to be with each other, why they're willing to risk life and death to be with each other, why they're willing to risk turning against their family, turning against the church, all that style of stuff, right? I understand the metaphors and the symbolism of, we get it, the church is not for this type of lifestyle. Fair, all good. Some of the metaphors in the movie are on the nose, some not so much. And those things were cool. I like those elements. Dope. But I feel like the way that the film executed those things left me kind of shrugging my shoulders like, all right, so I guess we're just here to see these dudes make out from time to time and jerk each other off. That's about it. Right. Because everything else in the film wasn't so much developed that I was like on the edge of my seat, like really pulling for these two guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I want them to be together. Cool. But it just didn't really like meet. You know what I'm saying? And then, not giving away too many spoilers, but certain things in the film are brought about specifically because of the two dudes that we're following. And even that, I'm kind of wondering, like, man, like, this is interesting choices that you're making that kind of put you in this position. You feel me? So I thought the premise was cool. I would have rather had this movie be a little bit more like hard in the paint, in the sense that if you're going to go and say that the church is against this and that people who choose people who live this lifestyle, right? People who are this way and feel like persecuted by the world or the church or, you know, random people at school and things of that nature. Cool. I would have rather had it be a little bit more specific, where like the church specifically is the villains and the bad guys, right? Not necessarily where like they're trying to do some type of like, you know, gay exorcism type of situation, right? Where they're in front of the whole congregation, they do this. But I would have rather had them like purposely plant an entity or something like that that's going to try to get after them. and go a little
Right,
bit deeper and give me a little bit more into the church and the community that would allow this, the town. You know what I mean? Like if you think of that movie, Footloose, that entire town felt like, you know, dancing is like secular type stuff. Like, hey, this is bad. Don't do it. Right. So then certain people got to break away. They got to go to the barn and they go dance the night away type of shit. Right. I would have rather had that kind of be like with this. It's like, if you're going to do it for reals. You know what I'm saying? So I just felt like the movie just didn't give me enough. So I was kind of like bored throughout most of the film. You know what I mean?
Did they answer any questions? Did they answer the questions at all? Like at the end, was it a close, good or bad? But did it close at all?
So I don't feel, honestly, like I say, there's symbolism and there's metaphors throughout, and there's like some things that are kind of like on the nose. You dig? So there's never really any questions that are posed. It's literally like, hey, these two guys like each other. Church finds out about it. They do this gay exorcism type thing, and now there's an entity that looks like the person that you love. Right? So it's like if the blonde haired dude likes the brown haired guy, then the entity that's going to chase him and potentially kill him is going to be looking like this guy. Right? And vice versa.
Gotcha.
And that's it. So there's no like, that's the thing is like, there's nothing really to grab a hold of other than like, all right, I hope they can be together, get away from the entity.
Right. So did you, so pretty much like the way that they got the guys together, you didn't care too much about the guys. Like you didn't care about the characters too much. Like you didn't care if they got together or not. What was it like that kind of feel?
To me, the way that the movie portrayed it and the way that the movie developed it, it was very surface. So you care about them just because you care about them. They're the good guys. They're the good guys. So that's why you care. But there's nothing like about them and them together where you're like, oh man, they need to be together. The relationship wasn't built. It just was, hey, these two people, the town doesn't want them to be together. Their parents don't want them to be together. So we need to root for them because that was it.
They're the underdog, right? Everyone's against them, no matter what, right? No matter what it is.
Yeah.
See. All right. Well, I guess so. What do you say about? I guess about going to see it. Wait.
I would say I think this is a movie that you can watch on streaming. However, if you are part of this community and you want to see something with representation that's got a little horror twist and element to it, it's cool enough. It's well crafted. I just feel like it missed the mark on a lot of those things, and that's why I was kind of bored by it. And I would say it's not worthy of a trip to the theater because of that. However, if you need that if you want that representation and you want to support a film like that, definitely go see it. Because that's going to speak, to the people that put these movies in theaters that like, yeah, we want more stuff like that. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Well, that's good to know because I was about to see it and I may still see it, see what's up. But hey, listen, if Justin says, hey, you can wait, you know what? That's what we here for you. So to save you money or to tell you what's worth it, who it's not. And if he says no, hey, it's his opinion. Don't do it.
It's
you know what I mean?
It's also subjective.
But that old movies are pretty. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. So Leviticus for Justin. Cool. So now I guess we can get into mine.
The Furious.
All right. So this is opposite of that. So the Furious, if anyone doesn't know what the Furious is about, pretty much if you looked at your phone, there was like advertising everywhere, but it was limited, but it was everywhere. And then, you just saw the poster, you heard little quibs about how cool it is and this, that, and the other. So anyway, I didn't really see the trailer. Like I saw little bits, but I didn't want to know much about it. Like I heard little things, I kept myself away. So I went ahead and see it. It stars Mio Shi. I may be getting these pronunciations wrong, so please forgive me, guys out there. So Mio Shi is the star. He plays a mute kung fu expert. Pretty much, but he's a handyman. But pretty much in this film, everyone has kung fu in their back pocket. So it's just the way it is. Yeah, it's one of these worlds, Then you got Joe Taslim. Joe Taslim's the man. He was in Mortal Kombat. So he's in there, so you can peep him in there. And then you got this new cat. There's a couple of people in there that's really cool, but I just want to give a shout out to this one guy named Brian Lee. And Brian Lee makes an appearance. He makes his presence known in that film. I don't know who he is, where he came from, but he got the look, he got the ability, and he shows up in this, and damn, he's a wrecking ball. He's one of those guys where you like, you know what? I need to see him again do the same thing in another movie, you know? So big up to Brian Lee because he killed it. The director on this is Kenji Gagi. I'm bad with that. My bad. But he's known as being an action director anyway, and he did a really good job with this. So, Furious. I sat down. It's about 2 hours long. And that's when it starts, when you sit down. It goes right into it, man. The story is about Miyoshi playing Wang Wei, which you don't know his name until later. But anyway, his name is Wang Wei. And his daughter gets kidnapped by these traffickers, okay? And they specialize in child trafficking. So off the top, the way it starts, you want these guys fucking dead, in pieces, thrown in the fucking sea. Like they establish that really fast. So you know whatever happens to them, you're shedding no tear. In fact, you want it worse, whatever they're going to give it to them. So that's what happens. So she's out, she gets kidnapped. Wang sees his daughter in a truck, as you see in the trailer. So I'm not giving anything away. And he just goes after her. And he's just going full set of steam and going whatever he can to get after them. They go through this big fight, and then everything ensues. Joe Taslim's character, Navin, is played a journalist, and he's looking for his wife, who is actually doing some journalism on the world of these traffickers, and then she gets missing. She comes up missing, so he's looking for her. So these guys team up, looking for each other's love. Okay. And they just go at it. They team up, They go high five, let's do it. And they go all out. Let me tell you something, just to get right to it. I'm not going to go into all the spoilers and all this stuff. This movie fucking kicks ass. If anyone saw The Raid, and I saw a little bit of Raid, so I can't say too much. Justin has told me a lot about it, and I know it's kick ass, but only thing I hear is they say this has more action, more badass than Raid. I'm like, what? So I have to see Raid now and compare. But let me tell you this. Furious, if you are going in to see martial arts, this is the movie. I have not seen a good martial arts film in a very long time. A martial arts film that gives you different styles that you don't get tired of looking at. You may get a little bit of, you get a little bit tired of, seeing everything move around. You know what I mean? Because it's moving, you feel it, you're moving, you're out of breath. That's what they want you to do. But the style is cool. There is a new look, like a new feel of what they're doing with this style, where you notice that there is a look, there's a feel of everything is kind of rolling on top of each other. Everyone's kind of very close, rolling on top of one another, like barrels almost. So it's like almost a style that they're putting in there that other films haven't done. And I was like, oh, that's a cool little thing. And then there is a famous scene that everyone's been talking about the pyramid. He's whooping ass, hitting people with fucking hammers and whatnot, and just making a pyramid out of people in the UFC ring. Bro, I'm like, yo, that's what I'm talking about. The choreography was fantastic. The pace was phenomenal. And I mean phenomenal. Not like it's okay, it's pretty. No, it was fucking phenomenal. You're like, oh my God, just these guys going through all of that. You think John Wick can do something. You think the guys in Ray can do something. Like I said, I still have to see Ray still, but from what I hear, this has got to be it. Now, one great thing that I love about this movie, one great thing I like about when movies do this, it just really gets me, is when you really feel the movie's over. They really gave you everything they had, looks like. They gave you everything. These guys were fucking fighting everywhere. People's heads were blasted. People getting shot by bow and arrows. People falling out the windows and shit. People getting shot. A lot of people getting shot. Say, where are the guns? Everyone just got fisticuffs. Everyone's getting hammered in the head for freaking hour and change. And you're like, whoa. And it just like, everyone gets home. Everyone's safe. Boom, Things happen everything happens in a positive way. You're like, wow. Whoo, that's awesome. but it's not over yet. And next thing you know, more shit comes. Another layer comes, and another layer comes, and you're like, what the oh my God, it keeps going. To me, I love movies like that when you really feel that it's over because you feel they gave everything they had. This, how much more are you going to do? And they gave you freaking more. And what they gave you was fucking, I mean, it was just an extra layer, like another 2 steps on top of what they just gave you. You're like, yo, I didn't think you could give me more, but you gave me more. Now, there's a cat in there that I have to give a shout out to, and I hear that he was in Raid. Yaya and Ruin.
Is it that dude like right behind you in the red?
Yeah, in the red. Yeah. So people always say he's a beast in here too, yo. And he was just bow and arrowing the fuck out of people. So all in all, guys, if you want to have a good time, very simple story. You know, daughter gets kidnapped, father has to go and get her. That's it. You know, by all means. And then he just comes across some crazy motherfuckers in there and just going to have to go to work. Some things, of course, are, you know, a little over the top, but not over the top to where you feel like, oh, come on, like it's disappointing. No, you feel like, oh, you know, all right, you know, it's a kung fu movie. I guess they got to put him in there. It doesn't really matter much. People get hit over the head, their brain should be like just blasted out. No, they just get knocked out, wake up. Yo, bro, you just got hit by a 2x4, bro. You know, it's like, damn, what the? But they're like, nope, we need him. Another guy gets hit in the hammer, his face gets blasted. You go, oh, I guess they don't need him anymore. Yeah. But they need him. So it doesn't matter what that guy gets hit with. He's coming back or something. So anyway, Furious, very, very happy. To me, it's one of the best movies so far this year. I am ecstatic. I'm going to see this bitch again. This is a badass freaking movie. So yeah, see it. Absolutely.
Yeah, when I saw again, I never watched the actual full trailer, but like you said, I saw a lot of the promo and whatnot. And I was like so looking forward to this movie because to me, it looked like that same style of The Raid. The Raid, the first one is a little bit more kinetic, like a lot more movement going on, a little bit more grimy. And this movie kind of looks like polished and grimy in the best way possible. So I'm imagining the cinematography looked really dope.
The cinematography and set design was very dirty and grimy, what made everything look better. Everyone was dirty, sweaty. It was very, I loved it. Yeah.
Another thing that I like about like what you're talking about and the style of what I saw in the trailer is that like with The Raid, and then there's like 2 movies I've seen on Netflix. One of them I just watched it the other day in the gym is called, I think, The Night Comes for Us, and it stars that Tasman dude, right? And then there's another one that I think stars the lead of Raid Redemption and Raid 2. I can't remember what his name is. And the way the camera work is that you're talking about, it's not it's not like shaky cam. It's like smooth, but it kind of feels a little shaky, but not to the point where it's like, you know, you're just moving it to move it. And then it really moves with the hits. So a lot of that stuff that is like kind of, I don't know if it's still really popular, but at least it was a few years back on YouTube when people would make their edits and the cameras are like moving with all the edits and stuff. It's kind of like that in a sense, but yet it has an era of a John Wick where it's like still pulled back so you can kind of really see what's going on and you're never lost in the action. That's how this is?
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much the camera movement you're going to really appreciate because you don't even know the camera's there, and there's nothing if anything that's very close up, which is very few shots that are close up because something really bad happens and then they pull away. Yeah. You know, it's to the point where you're giving these guys their flowers because they got so much skill. You want to show the world how good they are, and you just keep the camera away and say, just get out their way. And let them do it and just follow them. And that's what they were doing. And nothing was too far away. Nothing was just so long of a shot that you're like, man, you know, okay, can we get to another angle? No, it was, you know, it was appropriate. They will follow, like you said, a smooth kind of movement, nothing too frenetic, nothing shaken. And it looked like, you know, when you have people with such skill, right? Even if they're talking or they're fighting like this, for example, you just get out their way. You just let the camera run and go, you know, and I love that. And that's exactly what they did. And you got to figure too, the main character in this is mute, so he can't hear. So he's kind of limited when it communications, and that gives us an extra layer, you know? Yeah. and then you have cops and everything, and and the movie. I think the movie is only done for like $30 million or something like that, or somewhere like that. So it wasn't much, but I'm telling you, they're going to make a killing off of this. And I say this: anything these guys do now, I am following that director and I'm following these actors, because whatever they want to do, I'm in. And you know what? It's I've seen so many martial arts flicks in my life. I grew up with martial arts flicks. I mean, anyone know, this is just deep cut now, anyone was around in the 80s in New York, they had a thing every Saturday at 3 o'clock called a drive-in movie. And that was your 2-hour kung fu flick of the week. And that was there for years. So every Saturday, 3 o'clock, at 5 o'clock, we came outside and everyone thought we knew kung fu, and we just hurt each other all the way to nighttime and start beating each other up and whatnot. And it was awesome. And, and when I saw this, man, I was like, I felt like, this is what we need. We need more of these. But, I just want to say this. With Raid, like I said, I didn't see it. Justin, of course, saw it, and he was telling me about it. And I wish that they push movies like that more, like with bigger budgets, give a big marketing campaign, a bigger marketing campaign. Because let me tell you this, Furious, to me, for some reason, whatever, got more marketing campaign than Raid. Because although Raid got awards, the way it was promoted, I knew about Furious before I knew at the time I knew about Raid. Like when you think about it, as opposed to Raid, when coming out for me knowing, I knew more about Furious than I did Raid came out. So I don't know what it is, but you know what? They got a lot of awards. And I see why, but
So I'll tell you like this: we have to thank Keanu Reeves for that, because if John Wick, obviously, like I said, who is it? Gareth Edwards, I think.
Who directed?
Yeah, he's the one that did the Raid and Raid 2, right? Or Raid Redemption and Raid 2. But with John Wick and the popularity of John Wick, because if I'm not mistaken, the dude in the red tracksuit behind you and another guy from the Raid were in, I think, John Wick 3 or 2. I can't remember which one it was.
Was he in there?
They're like when they were fighting in the upstairs area in that glass room or whatever like that. I remember that. I think he was in there. And then obviously you got that style of similar style of fighting and whatnot. Then the main cats, I think again that dude from in the red tracksuit and the lead from Raid and Raid 2 were in the first Star Wars Force Awakens movie. Wasted. They did nothing. It was when Han Solo and them or something like that were on a ship and they were bounty hunters or something like that, trying to get money from him or whatever like that. And I'm like, oh snap, we're gonna see some legit fight go down here in Star Wars. Let's do it. And they did nothing, so they were completely wasting that movie. Man. But I'm telling you, because of John Wick, you're getting a lot more of these random fight movies. And then with this, like you said, the marketing, the budget, and how well this movie is getting received, we're gonna see a lot more of these guys for sure. I
hope so. And I hope it starts a trend. Same trend now that, to compare it a little bit to Godzilla -1. Mm-hmm. How it was just a different take and it was just so brilliantly done. Now, when you do something like that, everyone's looking to do something like that. And I think the Furious, nothing new when it comes to really kick-ass kung fu movies. It was just the way it was done. The choreography was very well done. And what I like also another key factor with the choreography, guys, before we close this out, is that everyone had their own style, which I like. Everyone didn't fight the same. Especially when the guy in the red jumpsuit, as you see in the back, Ruin, when he comes in, you can see his fight style was different. It was clearly different. He had a bow and arrow and whatnot. He was just, he was bow and arrow the fuck out of people. He was the worst. I mean, he was the worst. But when he started to go hit fisticuffs and he had a knife, his movements were long. You automatically saw that because you see Miao Shi, his fights was, because he was short and stocky, he was very quick. Bang, 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 come in, bang, 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 he moves. When Ruin, when he came into play, right, his moves were very long. So you had this little punchy guy going along, and he Ruin's just moving around. Boom. So you saw the difference, and that really drew you in. You're like, oh shit, two styles and whatnot. Oh. You're like, oh shit. You know what I mean? And he was just killing him, slicing the fuck out of him. Slicing the fuck out of people, boy. But it was fun, man. I had a great time. My wife and I went to see it. My wife came out just wanting to fight me too. It just gets you pumped up. You know what I mean? So yeah, go see it, guys. So if anyone, if out there, If anyone's seen Furious, let us know what you think. If you've seen Leviticus, let us know what you think. If you're going to see any of these, let us know. And if you have already, then let us know, of course, what you think of these. So thank you again. If you made it this far, I hope you enjoyed everything. And we got an announcement on the next video that I didn't make here. So look out for that. Okay. And we'll see you next time. All right. Peace.